Okay, so I am now going to welcome our next speaker. So the next speaker who is joining us today is Yomi Sode. Yomi is an award-winning Nigerian British writer. He's a recipient of the 2019 Jerwood Compton Poetry Fellowship. He was shortlisted for the Brunel International African Poetry Prize. He has many accolades to his name. We are very, very excited to have him with us this morning. So please join me in welcoming Yomi to the stage.
Easy. How's everyone? We all right? Are you sure? You're like, are you sure? 100% like 1,000 like business like that, sure. Yeah? Oh, you don't be like, what's he talking about? I don't even know what's happening here. All right, cool. Really quick. Big round of applause for James one time, please. Huge round of applause for James. Do you know what it is? I feel like, I've been saying to Sharifa, I'm just like, everyone's doing the clap thing. It feels a bit Wimbledon. Do you know what I mean? You don't know what you're like when you're with your friends, even the adults and all that. You don't know what you're like when you're with your folks and like family, friends, all that stuff. So we're going to get like big round of applause and cheers. But first thing first, I want you to kind of turn to someone like either left or right. I do this all the time because I like host shows and stuff and everything. Everyone's like, yeah, I picked you already. We're set. This is it. I would just be like, it's good to see you this morning. And then you're going to give him a high five. And then you're just going to go, yeah. Is that all right? Can we practice it? You're like, no, you're not about to make me do this. You're not about to make me do this. We're about to make it happen. So can we practice? Can we just kind of like, wait, slow down. Oh my gosh. Wait, there's a countdown to all of these things. Before we count down, can we just try the yeah? Do you know when you do the yeahs, yeah? You need to kind of raise like your head. Yo, you know the levels. You need to kind of raise your head. Do you know the octave? Yeah. All right, can we just, wicked. Can we just practice it on the count of 3? 1, 1, 2, 3. What? Sick. All right, cool. So now we're going to do it. You just turn to someone, you be like, you know what, it's good to see you this morning. Give them a high five. And then go, yeah. And do you know what you're going to do? You're gonna point at them like, wait. All right, wait. 3. So it's going to be, it's good to see you this morning. Yeah. Sick. All right, cool. You ready? 3, 3, 2, 1, go. You done it. Boom. All right. Awesome. Cool. All right. Now, can we just kind of like, if we're going to give a round of applause, can we add some whoops in there and everything so the folks in Wimbledon, they can hear us making those chairs, yeah? Big round of applause, whoops, and let's get into the mix. Is that all right? 3, 2, 1, go! Awesome. Right, so I haven't got much time. Do you know what's I haven't got much time. So it's, where do I start? My name is Yomi. I'm Nigerian. And by no ways am I kind of patriotic ways am I mean to wear the green, white, and then I just noticed that my notepad is green, so I got the flag. I'm representing right now. This is how it works. Really interesting story, and I think just all I'm going to do for the most part is like add some points of my own life, and it really kind of stems off the back of James's keynote, which is really interesting. There was a lot of things there that I noticed, the why, the strengths, the resilience, and responsibility, and I hope in some way through my own kind of journey, you can notice some of that, and I hope it helps and supports a lot of your own processes where you're at. Everyone good? Everyone nice? Awesome sauce. I arrived in England when I was 9 years old. I was born in Nigeria. When I before I left true story. Before I left Nigeria, I was auditioning for a TV series. My mom took me to every rehearsal, and all the other aunties were getting mad jealous because I was just leading the pack in it. And the aunties was like, your own son, he did it. And my mom's like, don't watch my boy. He'll do what he's doing. I don't know. So gone for all the rehearsals, done everything, the auditions, everything, smashed it. And on the day of filming, I left Nigeria. I know, right? Kind of felt like an EastEnders moment, the doofs. On the day of filming, I left Nigeria and I made my way, and I arrived in England. I arrived in Bethnal Green in the first instance, and then we moved home, and then I was in Peckham. True story, right? True story. I say this all the time, and my friends crack up every single time. It was snowing. I didn't know what snow was. So I'm thinking, am I gonna die? What's going on? What's happening? And then it starts, because I'm cold. And then it starts to fall, the snow's doing its thing, and then it lands on your skin, right? What happens when snow lands on the skin, people? Yo, why did I think it was acid, people? I'm like, it's melting. I'm frantic. I'm running around my mum. I'm like, Mum, it's good knowing you. Blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? It's. I say this to say, it's all these different experiences, and I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared for what I was encountering and how my life was essentially about to change. I hardly spoke any English. Folks that would talk to me now, they'd be like, of course you was born here. I'm like, no. But what did happen was I found myself assimilating a lot of the times around just the culture, around the landscapes, around the people that were around me. At least my part of this entire amazing day is going to be in 4 points, and this is the first point. On my first day in primary school, I swear to God, I'm not even lying to you. My mom dressed, like gym wear, the gym kind of wear that folks kind of wear on their day-to-days right now, like it's casual. Folks be wearing it to work and all that stuff. My mom had me in Lycra, B. I know. My first day in primary school, she had me in like the gym kind of stuff, but tight with shorts and like a baggy top and like these pink and white kind of Pumas. And this is how I rocked into school on my first day. And I'm seeing all the students look at me like, who is this you? Like, what's going on with this guy? And I'm just thinking, like, hi. And everyone's just looking at me mad strange. And even from that point, I'll never forget it, that break time. I was crying in the teacher's room, and I remember the teacher at the time was doing something like, it's gonna be okay, but I'm not understanding it fully. So all I can do was work from his head nods and work from his emotions and being like, it's fine, like it's all right. Because I was bawling. I was just like, listen, Mum, you set me up differently. I'm not even sure what this entire situation is and what have you. But again, I say this to say that I had to grow through a situation where I need to now kind of assimilate to my own settings. I don't know where in my story you might relate, but I hope it does kind of work in some way, shape, or form, because all I'm talking about is identity and how I've kind of worked along the lines of that. So when I was around 10, I kind of went into writing via a task by my English teacher. She set like a task to write about something that you enjoy writing about. And I'm just going to take just a leaf from James's book real quick and just like for 10 seconds, just kind of speak to someone next to you and just be like, yo, if there was something that you really want to write about, what would it actually, like, what would it be? I'm just going to do it for 10 seconds and then I'm just come back in. So, whoa, people are thinking, that's cool. All right, so choose anyone. If you want to write about something, what would it be? So, let's go. Cool, go. 10, 9, 8, sorry. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. And bring it in. Anything? Any volunteers? Listen, I'm hearing there's like a £30 voucher business happening. So, like, any volunteers? Anyone? What would you write about if you could? Go for it. Amazing. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Anyone for more? And you need to project. If you're going to go for this, that, we need to all hear you as well. Go for it. How being loud is a good thing. Awesome. Oh, you want to, go for it. See? So my teacher was like, write about everything. What do you want to write about? And this is the deepest irony here, because my first ever story that I wrote was about a penguin. It was not any kind of penguin. It was a macaroni penguin. I don't know if anyone knows the macaroni penguin. They got like this kind of fire streak in their head. Kind of looks like Goku in Super Saiyan mode type thing, right? I'm like, I really like this penguin. I'm going to write a story about this penguin. So I wrote this story and I got a merit. A merit is like the highest thing you can ever receive. And then I'm like, I'm really good at this. Teacher's like, do you want to write another story? I'm like, yeah, man, let's go for this situation. What do you want to write about? And then I remembered, culturally, like I said, I'm Nigerian. And out of nowhere, one auntie just came into the house to start living with us. I'm like, who are you? What's happening? What's going on? You said you're going to be here for 2 weeks. Why is it 6 months? What's going on? What's happening? So she's here, and I'm really frustrated, but I can't really talk about it because, if I ever try to speak to my mum with any vim, I will get repercussions. So I was like, there's no way for me to vent my frustrations. The best way for me to do it is to do what? Is to write about it, right? So I wrote about my frustrations. I wrote about how mad I'm waking up. I'm there trying to watch CBBS, and she's just there. I can't even enjoy Pengu or nothing like that. I can't watch none of my programs because she's just there. I open the fridge, gone. The food I was looking to eat, it was all there. And then I discovered this kind of thing I got with writing and storytelling. And again, something for you to know, something for you to pocket is where there is availability. There's teachers here. There's a poet here who's actually a teacher. I'm not going to blow up your spot. You know who you are. You're here right now. I'm looking at you right there. I'm looking at you right there. Everyone's like, what? What are you talking about? Yes. You're poets that are teachers that are doing amazing things. And where there's a window, where there's a teacher that kind of opens up a window to kind of gives you an opportunity to do so, to kind of be like, if you want to write about something, absolutely do it, because you might not know that that's the kind of skill that you had in you. That's the passion that you had in you to write. I'm going to put that aside in terms of the writing, in terms of that kind of entry point into the UK. The second point I wanted to raise falls directly in line of somebody that sees an opportunity that you might not, they might see something in you that you might not necessarily see. When I was 16, I started to volunteer as a youth and community worker. So I was going into schools, I was doing PHSE lessons, I was helping out shadowing with drug awareness courses, gangs, knife crime, and working with students generally and what have you. And I remember my mentor at the time, and I started DJing because grime was in. I was like, what, Dizzy Rascal? Yes. 100%. So I was learning to DJ and what have you. So I learned to DJ in 6 weeks. And my mentor at the time was like, you're kind of good at this. I'm like, safe. What's happening? Wicked. Nice one. Where are we going with this? Wicked. He's like, you're kind of good. Would you like to volunteer some of your time to kind of teach other young people about this? I'm like, what? Volunteering? Does that mean I'm getting paid? What is the situation? I'm like, what? Because I did, again, all of these terms I didn't know at the time. So I'm like, this sounds awesome. What? I'm now doing this for fun. I can now make money off of it. This is awesome stuff. How many hours volunteering? He said 200 hours. I said, I'll see you later. I was gone. I was so gone. I was gone. But the interesting thing was he stuck around and he was persistent. Every other day he was just like, are you still interested to do this? I'm like, yo, what's happening? Why are you leaving me alone? He's like, no, I see potential in you. Are you interested to do this? I'm like, why are you not backing? Just back off. And then I said to him, one day he called me and he was like, I really think you should volunteer and I really think you should give this a go. And I'm like, if I do this, will I regret it? He said, I don't think you're going to regret it. And till today, I am now years old. And I work literally down the road. I've worked in Southwark, I've worked in Islington, and I work in Camden with young people, with young adults, with parents. From 16, I started. A lot of the writers that you're probably reading now, they've been in the schools that I've been teaching. I sound like I'm mad old. I ain't that old, yo. I'm actually not that old at all. I'm there. But I say this to say that somebody might see something in you that you might not recognize. You might be like, oh, I think I'm good at this. But no, actually, someone else might see something in you that they say, no, you can do this. I can see this in you. Again, I'm going to throw it out to you. I assume you might be sitting next to someone that you either know or what have you. Just for like 20 seconds odd. Just be like, oh, what do you see in me that I don't necessarily see in myself? What do you think? What do you see in me that I don't see in myself? Like, what am I missing? What is it? What is it? Do you know what I mean? It's a bit of a tough one, but it's an interesting one. So turn to someone and be like, what do you see in me that I don't see in myself? I think you're going to be the $1 poet. I feel like you're going to be running for some kind of... Listen, your MBE wave is coming your way out of these streets, bro. This is... What do you... What... All right. Let's bring it in. Any volunteers to be like, oh, we had a conversation and like, I kind of see this in you, but I don't know if you saw that. Anyone? I can get higher. Oh, go for it. Nice and loud, please. Oh, stand up so we can see. Oh, okay. Oh, you're good. As long as we can hear you. Yeah. So confidence, did you say? Wicked. Can we give a round of applause, please? Anyone? Cool. Yes, my fashion person here. With fashionist. I need you to be my stylist out here, B. Go for it. But if the control freak means organization and everything, I'm down for it. So give a round of applause for that, please. So I am now, third point, and I think this is the most important point. I'm working in youth work. I'm enjoying my job. It's awesome. We've just done a big event. I'm DJing. Life is good. Blah 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 blah. And in 2005, one of the biggest kind of concerns or the kind of like anxieties in youth work and what have you is what happens if you're in a situation that is like kind of puts your work and your situation right to the front, and it's scary. And in 2005, I was attacked at work. In 2005, not young people that I work with, but there was like a group of other young adults and older adults that was looking for this one particular kid. And this one kid attends my sessions on a Friday. It was a music session, it was a DJ music and dance session. And word got round that he was going to be in this place on that Friday. And I was the lead worker on that session on that Friday. And come the day, there was rumors that something was going to happen, but we didn't necessarily know what was going to happen. And on the day, the cars kind of swung round. I had a 9-year-old that was so scared he hid himself in the fridge. And then at that point, I had to go outside to try to kind of, because when you're youth work, it's not like you're a teacher. It's not like you're you're the police or what have you. So you're thinking, oh, I'm kind of cool. I'm kind of impartial. You know what I mean? So I kind of walk up to people and just like, the person you're looking for is not, and before I even ended it with hair, I just got, it was all over. I got attacked, essentially. I got my car keys taken, my wallet, my house keys, everything. My mum got moved out of the house that evening. I got rushed to the hospital. It was a lot that was happening that evening. And this was work. This is me working with young people. This is the job I love, and it happened that day. And so then I had to get put on a back to work plan. And within that time, I had to kind of try to understand what it's like to kind of get back into work. The last thing I wanted to do is run away from a job that I love doing, because now I'm a bit paranoid or I'm scared. So I had to kind of find a way to kind of get myself back into the mix. And one of the things that my workplace done was do a back to work plan. And they would say, oh, Yon, what do you want to do in your time? I'm just like, I don't know. I want to study maybe youth work full time. Put me in like a writing or something class as well. Let's see what happens. And I don't know about the third one. You can think about it. But then the third one actually later on was around therapy and counseling, because mental health is important. The second option, in terms of me enrolling myself in something to write, I went into a writing course. And in the writing course, it was dance. I don't dance. It was singing. No, I don't. Do I sound like I sing? I don't sing. But the writing aspect was really important. And that was my entry into taking poetry and writing a lot more serious. And that was a pivotal point for me to kind of understand why it was important for me to get back into work and what I am doing. I say this to say that at some point there will be some difficult moments that you go through. I don't want it to be nothing like mine, but there is resilience in something that you have to push through in order for you to get to where you are going. And my story kind of starts at that point, in a sense of, what now? What do I do now? And the fourth point is the book. I have been writing poems and I've been performing since 2007. Within spoken word and poetry, I host shows. And it was directly off the back of something that happened to me that was so traumatic, and I still found a way forward. And I say this to say that there might be some difficult points that you might go through. There might be some difficult points that you're going through now, but there's always a light at the end of that tunnel. Yeah? Can we kind of say that at the kind of free? The light at the end of that tunnel, as well as cliche as it is. I know that we've done some timing with the claps, but we can get it all in sync right now to make it happen. So the light at the end of the tunnel. Can we do it? Can I trust you to do it? 3, 2, 1. Someone actually clapped. Louder. 1, 2, 3. And then it came in, and then I was just like, what do I do with this writing? I came in at a point where there was no one for me to really read that looked like me, that represented me, and I didn't know how to assimilate myself. My mother tongue kind of got lost in the fact that, I'm not necessarily chilling with any of my Nigerian friends. I didn't necessarily go into a point of making friends until I was like roughly 15, 16 years old. I'll go to church. Going to church is one thing, but when mum just sits me in Sunday school and I'm sitting with a bunch of 6-year-olds or whatever's like that, I can't really pally with people that are just like, right, did you know them nursery seats? It's sitting in nursery seats while mum's with the aunties just having a whale of a time, and I'm just there for 3 hours. For what reason? It don't make no sense. So a lot of the times I was not with my own community. A lot of the times I wasn't around the kind of writing that I wanted that could have helped me at that point. Hence why this day is important. When I look into my book, I'm like, I got a book coming out in October, folks. Oh my diddy days. I'm nervous. But it's with this is the very first poem in this book is entirely in Yoruba. And there's a reason why that happens. There's a reason why that for me is a full circle moment, because I arrived here knowing that was all I could be, knowing all that was speaking was Yoruba. And then it slowly just kind of fades. I still understand and I still speak it to some degree, but there was no access point for me to kind of pick up a book and to look at something and be like, this is a representation of someone that I can lean on at a point where I might be trying to find myself. So I hope it does do some service for whoever might be able to identify themselves in this. Hence why it was so important for me that the first poem starts off in the way it starts off. And I suppose for me to be in this program and to be part of this and to be speaking to you all right now and sharing my own story, it's kind of full circle. Because it's full circle in a point where I was feeling really lost at a certain point, and now I find myself at a point where I hope that it can be of benefit and it can be of service to not only, I'm a dad now, I've got 2 kids. I've got like, one is 8, going on like he's 30, and one's 3, and she's going like she rules the world. Do you know what I mean? I thought I knew Beyonce until I met my daughter. I was just like, I don't know what's going on. And I think in being a father, it also makes me realize the responsibilities I have. So I really want to implore everyone to have as much fun in understanding the literature that is out there, engaging with literature that is representative of yourselves. And we're going to be having a poetry kind of reading at some point later on. But I want to leave you with a poem that speaks very dearly to me. It's called The Barbershop. And everyone has like their experience in a barbershop and the hairdressers, right? Everyone kind of hairdressers, barbershops, hands up if you kind of frequent, one of the two. If you do your own hair, I'm jealous. My hair game is expensive. I didn't know about this life, but this is a story about the barbershop, because the barbershop is one of the places that I identify. I identify because it's banter. I identify because, boy, it's just a lot going on in a barbershop. And this particular story speaks of a barber called Tunde, who... So Tunde Tunde's wearing a baking apron, yeah, to trim hair. People are shook. So this is called a barbershop, and it's been a pleasure to just be speaking with you today. The barbershop. A roar ripples through the shop as Tunde mistakenly chisels higher into Devin's hairline. Anyone knows that is a straight violation. You know, if you're a barber, you know, you see if the barber does that, it's game over. A roar ripples through the shop as Tunde mistakenly chisels higher into Devin's hairline, leaving Nuff Man in disarray. All of them busting up on the floor. I watched Tunde, a matador who in one motion spins his cape tight around Devin's neck, then ties a single knot in his sweetest ole. Tunde reassures young Devin that he's in good hands. He cuts Tiny Temper's hair. Wale says the only thing tiny about Tunde is his drugged, drunken brain. Tiny care. Wale barks, lassoing his clippers close to Mandem's scalp. You trust your hair in the hands of this man, Abi? Okay. Devin looks past Tunde's rambles and Tunde's teeth that resemble a row of blunt pencils, but can't help fixating on the glossy apron decorated with cupcakes Tunde wears to trim his hair. The mocking begins. A barber wearing a baking apron to cut hair. Mandem's hysteria leaves the shop. Passers-by stop, looking to see what's caused a commotion. Tunde, are you trimming or baking cakes, fam? Devs, hot him up. But Devs won't. He mouths, it's okay, uncle. I too am Devin, old enough to decide the style I want my hair cut. Still young, always in forgiving elders, even when wronged. Today is special because I've held this book for like the last month, and this is the first time I've actually read a poem out of it. So it's very special to me that I'm reading it to yourselves. It's very special to mark that moment, knowing at one point I was also a student that was trying to find a way and looking for literature in that sense. I want to thank you all, and it's been an absolute pleasure that you've been able to listen to my ramblings and a bit of my story, and I look forward to speaking to you all later on today. Big up.